Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sirs and Mars. Good morning, sir. So once again, you're welcome to CPLAT Realtors Academy. And this is masterclass, business/real estate masterclass with Dixie. I want to welcome those watching us online across Asaba, Enugu. We welcome you all once again to CPLAT Realtors Academy. And today we hope that you all are going to be impacted as usual. Now, if you remember, last 2 weeks we looked at selling techniques part 1. And this week we're going to be looking at selling techniques part 2. So I know very much that in the first part, we all gained something. We all had something to take home with. So today we're going to be giving further explanations on selling techniques and what to improve our effectiveness in our marketing endeavors. So firstly, before I continue, I want to make something known. Who here can tell me who is a wonderful student? Who would you call a good student? I want to just hear from you. Who will you call a good student? Okay? Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. So that's a good student. A good student is the one who practices what he's being taught. So I'm mentioning this so that we all can consciously practice whatever it is that we're going to learn today. That is it. So without wasting much of our time, let's have a short prayer before we go into this session. In Jesus' name, Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, once again for today. We thank you, Lord God, for your mercies, for your protection upon our lives. Heavenly Father, we have come today to learn. And we ask you, God, that before we begin this session, let your presence go before us. Heavenly Father, we ask that you open our heart of understanding, that we may gain something very important from today's lecture. Father, Lord, as your speaker comes up today, we ask that let your Holy Ghost speak through him, that today we may be impacted. Thank you, blessed Father. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Please help me call MJ, please. Okay. All right, so we all have our pens ready and our hearts open. All right, so with a clap innovation, let's welcome Mr. MJ Success. Woo!
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming around. Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm so happy to see each and every one of us. How many of us enjoyed the last 2 weeks teaching on selling techniques? We did not finish it because of time, so that is why I want to have the complete section of it today. So thank you so much, Mr. Bright, for the intro. I want to welcome everybody watching us live right now on Facebook and YouTube, people in Asaba and Enugu, and some of other realtors out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. I pray it's going to be an impactful time for each and every one of us. All right, let's proceed. I don't want to waste time also. Selling techniques. We talked about last 2 weeks why we need to apply these techniques on ourselves. And like I said last week, many of us are already doing these things, but we're not aware of the terms. And that's what we are. That's what we are doing. And most times, why it's very, very important for us to understand it is that when you understand it, it will help you that, okay, look at what I applied in this thing, and look at what made me to make this set because of this particular principle that I applied. And that is why we are trying to make sure it is something you can define, something you can understand, both in theory or practical section. Okay, so I said also something about last week. I said that what makes people different or what makes people extraordinary is just the extra. The difference between extraordinary and ordinary is the extra. That is why whatever you do in life, go extra. Add something to it. Add something. Go extra. Many a times we do so many things here. We train practical sections on YouTube, Facebook, so many stuff, how to market on social media. We do motivational sections like this. We do this kind of teachings. Now, what we are doing all these things is that for you as a realtor, for you as an individual, you should be able to pick up something. I love a particular scripture, and I love quoting that scripture. That's Ecclesiastes chapter, I think chapter 4, verse 11. He said that in the morning plant your seed, and in the afternoon withhold not your hand from planting, because he said you don't know the one that will come, the one that will work, the one that will generate, profit or fruit. So that is why do as much as you can to be successful as far as it's in a good way. Do everything you can do. Apply the extra effort, apply the extra work. Your extra work might be going to on one-on-one marketing. Your extra work might be posting on Facebook, posting on WhatsApp. Your extra work might be writing a proposal to a particular company to see the need to invest into real estate. So it's all about applying extra work, extra work. You will discover, and you bear with me, that many people who have made sales did not really make that sales based on the normal method. Many of them applied something extra, something beyond the ordinary, something beyond what every other person is doing. So they applied that in to get extra results. Because let me give an instance now. Everybody might be on Facebook applying the same principle, applying the same ordinary principle of posting, posting, posting. But somebody can go extra and say, no, let me sponsor my own advert. Let me pay money to get something done. That's called extra. That person have applied something extra. So when tomorrow that person makes sense, you'll be like, this guy is extraordinary. It's not because there was something too huge or something too big about the whole stuff. It was just because the person applied something extra to go beyond what other people are doing. Somebody say extra. So whatever you do in life, have this mentality of what can I do? What else can I add to this thing I'm doing? What else can I do? What else can I add to this business to be extraordinary, to have extra income? Last week, as we were sharing some principles, I think it was one of the selling techniques, and we shared something about if you are selling bread, you can go extra by adding butter to it. You're having extra money, you're having extra income. So that's what, yes. Cross selling. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. So, yeah, I'll do that to refresh your memory. I'll do that. Because this technique is a powerful teaching we should understand. So let's proceed. So last week we talked about selling techniques and terminologies every salesman should know. Now look at this. We said about cross-selling. Talked about cross-selling. That cross-selling means you are selling butter. Somebody is buying butter and you're suggesting bread for the person. Consider this one. So it's called cross-selling. It makes you to have extra money, extra profit. Let's say you're selling a phone and somebody is buying the phone. I tell the person, this is your phone, buy a case for it, to buy a pouch for it so you don't damage it easily, so your screen will not break. Now, if the person buys that phone from you, you might be making a profit of 2,000 naira. Now, when the person proceed to buy the pouch or the case or whatever we call it, you can be making a profit with the phone and the casing. You're now having almost 2,500 naira. So that's what cross-selling is all about. It's about adding an extra service to a client that he or she might need, and that will make you to make more money. More money. So I would also talk about the next one we talk about is loss leader. That's another selling techniques every seller should know, every router or every salesperson should know is loss leader. And it refers to you selling a product with a discounted price, giving a promo price, just having a little loss just to have more sales. And remember, the principle is not like a continuous stuff, because most clients and most people always love cheap things and free things. So they want, if you give it to them free today, tomorrow give it to them. No. It's not like that. That will make you go to the village. That will make you pack up your business. So, but this one is a principle you can apply once or twice, highest twice, for somebody to understand. Like a principle you should apply to someone, let's say a new client, making them to understand that I'm selling this thing to you so you can come back again in the future. So I'm giving you a discounted price. Don't worry, let me be at loss now, but I'll know I will gain more in the future. That's the principle of loss leader in selling techniques. A very, very powerful principle. I've done that often in my own personal business. Many people keep doing that just to grab somebody into the system. We have a studio, and one thing we do in our studio is all of my staff knows that if you're a new client and you walk into the studio and you see our price list, you might be like, no, no, I can't pay this, it's too much, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, because most of the times they are comparing us to other people out there and their normal price. So they might say, you guys are more expensive. I can't pay extra 200 naira or extra 100 naira for this particular same service. Now, but one thing we try to let them understand is we can even give to them at this loss later, discounted price. What we're trying to do, we're trying to make you understand the value of our service. And most of them, it has happened that when we give them that cheap price to snap and all that, they want to come back again. And when they're coming, we're telling them, Madam, no, it's not that same price. We are giving you our normal price now. Because we have used this principle to bring you into the system, to show you what we can offer to you, to show how we can make this whole store beautiful for you. And that is one principle about that. So the next one we talked about also is talked about, let me move on. I don't want to read all these things. Pain points. Pain points. You guys can remember what I talked about pain points, right? Pain point is about identifying your client's pain points. Now, let's say they bought from your neighbor, or they bought from somewhere else, or they bought from somewhere else, and they discover that, oh, let's say the particular price of that stuff was like 1.5. And then you know fully that you can even sell that thing to the person at 1.4. And telling them, oh, you bought from so person. Assuming you came to me, I would have given it to you at 1.4. That's a pain point now. The person is like, wow, so I would have saved 100K assuming I came to you. You'll be like, don't worry, come next time, I will give you that same discount. So at that point, you are using their pain point of, oh, so I bought this thing more expensive. They'll come back to you. And most people, like in real estate, now one of the powerful pain points is people being scammed in the whole industry, or people not getting their allocation, or people buying a property and it's not developing. There's so many companies out there, they are busy launching new products, launching newer products and all that, but they're not investing in the estate. They're not documenting it. They're not developing it. No fencing, no building is going. They just left it like that. I know one thing about real estate is that real estate is like a magnetic field. That you can be in a particular territory, even if you're the first person to start building, people will just join you. People will be like, something is going on, let's just join. You just follow you and start building. And before you know it, that place becomes a massive city. This road you are seeing now, Konwachuku, straight by one person, one man. And that's why you see most times they name the streets or the road after the person. So the name is Nwachuku. So probably the name of the person that owns the first building, his name is Nwachuku. That's how it happens. So the man just started, other people joined him. Before you know, it became a massive city. So using your client's pain points, some people in this industry, they're like, I bought land last 2 years, up till now, I don't even know where my land is. No allocation. And you're telling them our own is instant allocation. So that means you're using the person's pain points to show them that there's something you can actually benefit that will cover up your pain points. Since you bought from social people and you don't get allocation, if you buy from us, you're getting instant allocation. That's another principle you can use. It's going to become. So, yes, sir. Sure. We are still doing a review. Sure. Yes.
That is the okay. That is on the lost leader. Yeah, lost leader. Yeah, at my spare time, as I was trying to review what we learned here, and I came across a lost leader. Somehow it occurred to me that there could be a kind of a drawback in that lost leader in the sense that if I meet a client and I tell him that the land at Asaba we are selling for 2 million, but because you are a very close friend to me or something like that, they will give you a discount of maybe 200,000. So instead of paying 2 million, you pay 1.8. Now, if the person buys it and subsequently he goes out and he meets people and begin to tell them that, look, oh, I bought a piece of land at Asaba for 1.8 million, and the people get interested and they begin to come forward, how do you handle such a situation? They will come and say, okay, this person bought a piece of land for 1.8 instead of 2 million naira. So how do you handle such a situation?
That is why it's actually called lost leader. But you have to also apply wisdom. One thing I tell people, and you also must have checked and know that if I sell this particular property for 1.85 times, that means I'm going bankrupt. Even companies that say they are, yes, even companies that is doing promo now has a deadline for it. Company cannot be doing promo for 2 years. I want them to close up. Yes, that's why you see promo. Every promo has a deadline. It's 2 weeks promo. It's 3 months promo. They still know how many they will sell within that period. Most times, even I've seen clients that will say, "Okay, I want to buy 10 plots." The company will say, "No, they can't sell for you. They can't sell 10 plots for you. They want to cover up the whole estate. They don't want that because that's loss for them." So every company, every salesman, every individual must have done a calculation to check, okay, how many promo can I give for this particular service? How many discount price can I sell? And you're calculating it. And once you get to that point, say, no, it's closed. Because you can't continue like that. You can't continue to sell all your products and that same lost leader principle. So one thing I tell my clients is this. Remember the price is 2 million. You're the only one I'm giving 1.8. So when people are asking you, you better tell them it's 2 million naira. You can't be telling people it's 1 point because you'll be having issues with people. So you have to explain to them. This is what I tell my own client. I tell them, please, when people ask you, how much did you use? Because what I gave you was a very discounted and cheap price. So when they ask you, how much did you get this in? Please tell them the normal price because the discount was only for you. That's the normal principle you should use. So because they can't go to be telling people 1.8 and they are calling you 1.8 and you knowing fully well that if you continue with that 1.8, that's an issue. But at the same time, it is also a way. We have that principle here also. I think it's sound bites. It's also a way to drive traffic and attention to you. Because if people go around and tell them, I bought from a man 1.8, they'll be coming to you. You're saying 1 point and telling them, no, that was when I did the promo. So the promo is over. But I can make sure you get this land. Then you now start convincing them to still buy. Yes. But most of them, you still convince them to still buy for 2 million. Because at that point, they're already believing in you to make the sale a success. So you cannot still continue with them and now explain to them what they should buy for 2 million. So that's how it is can do it. So you can leave it at that.
Actually, good promo is something like, I understand.
Yes.
It's actually drawing customer
Attention. Yes.
drawing them closer so that with that little
Discount.
amount that you are losing,
Mm.
in the next option, you will no longer
Get it.
face that such a thing. It's just that trying to bring them more.
Exactly. If, most times, even so many companies know this principle. Most times, every promo is not a promo. Every promo is like giving the actual price most of the times. But isn't that word promo? Like I said in sound bites, just to get your attention. They must have checked calculation and say, no, this thing, they must have checked and said, this thing, we can't sell it to. So let us call it promo price for this particular price. So that is how, when most times when promo price is really, really promo price, is when you were sure people were buying a product for 2 million naira. People were actually buying it. And all of a sudden, the company just said, okay, we are selling a promo price for just 1 month for 1.9, 1.8. Then you are sure this one is actually a promo because they stepped down from the price, from the actual price people were buying. Okay, so that's how it is. But all these things are just principles most times. And no matter what you do, both even with this principle, you must still understand that you are still gaining. You can't do a business and you are losing. That's not business again. No matter the promo you are giving, even people that are giving out cars, they are still profiting. They are still gaining. Even in CPLAT now, we have incentives that so amount of money you make for the company will give you a car. Before, as far as you're making that amount, that means company must have had more investments to make with the money you brought in. So buying a car for you is no longer a problem. You might be thinking, how can company bring out 5 million and buy a car for me? Where would they get the money from? No, they're still making more money. So they're trying to appreciate your own effort. So no company will give you a promo in this life or an incentive that will make them bankrupt. It's not possible. So they are still gaining. So it's just a principle we are applying. Because if company does not give you the car, nothing stops them from moving forward. If they give you, they're encouraging you to make more sales. Because as you're making more sales, you're helping them to push forward, to expand, and also make more money. That is why we're having all this concept of appreciation, incentives, and all that. Because it helps the both parties to grow and feel motivated. That's the principle of this. So let's proceed. I hope we are clear with that. So I've mentioned three principles now, and then I think let me remove this thing from transition. It's slowing me down. Okay, let me put it in none. So I think it's still doing. Let me just remove it in all of them. Transition. No. By to all. So we talked about pain points, using pain points. Then the next one we talked about last 2 weeks was solution selling. Okay, solution selling. Other than selling specific products, solution selling entails the benefits a custom solution can provide for the prospects. Like I gave an instance, and I said most companies are looking for where to expand to, a new location to expand to, a place they can expand their business or have a branch. So most of the times you might not use the word investment. You can use the word solution. Most companies are having limited space. You can there's just like okay, for some of us that knew when we were in Primatex Plaza, our former office, you discover that coming to this place is a solution. You know why? The whole idea, the major thing that brought us to this place is the space. Because we no longer have enough space there. We are using 3 offices there, different places, one upstairs, 1, 2 downstairs, and this place. So now, seeing a kind of flat like this that brought all the whole department together in one flat was a solution. So if there was a realtor or an agent in charge of this building, what you gave to us was solution selling, and we bought it. So most clients will buy from you when you present a solution to them. So you're having space problem here. Why don't you buy land from this particular estate? And you will not be the massive supermarket, a massive hotel. That's solution. And they are buying, they are still investing, they are still making your own money. So this is another principle you can use. You can use. I know a particular friend of mine, a lady who is a speaker also. She said she walked into a kind of a cosmetic shop at a certain time. She was looking for a particular product. But when she went there, she discovered they don't have the product. So she told her it's finished. It's no longer available. And then the lady was like explaining to her about another product that's also cross-selling. But now she was doing cross-selling at the same time doing solution selling to her. She was telling her, look at this product now. If you use it, look at what we'll do for you. Look at the kind of benefits you have. And she ended up buying that product because she saw the solution. She saw, solving problems. She saw the whole benefit of that product. So in real estate, you can focus in this aspect. Many people are not happy with the amount of money they are spending on rent in their office or in their house. They are complaining, this rent is too much. Landlord is increasing this money every year. It's too much for us. You can tell them, sir, yes, you may not be able to afford it in Lagos. Why don't afford it in Enugu, which is your site? Why don't buy land now? It's cheap. So in the future, you'll be a landlord there too. You'll be complaining about how your rent is increasing. Solution selling. So there's so many things you can look into depending on the person. And look at this person, let me bring this solution to you so you can invest. So this is a principle you can use to make sales in this industry. And then I talked about sound bites. If you can remember what I said, sound bite is the idea. Like the idea about a sound bite is that it's easily remembered by your clients. Something enticing, promo price, buy and build, instant allocation. All these things are sound bites. You're giving a message that should be long, just in a short form. Very catchy message buy one and get two free. That's soundbite. Most of the times it's not real. Most of the time the terms and condition alone is too much that I cannot even meet up with. I've seen some big companies, they'll tell you about a particular stuff, but when you go to the terms and condition, like people are just looking for who to attract. So they're using this soundbite principle. They will attract you. You say, see promo. When you now see T&C apply, and you go and check the T&C, they'll tell you, you must invest 30 million naira. You must be like, no, you are joking with me. Because you can't meet up with that standard. So you just leave them naturally. So, but as a matter of fact, they have already attracted you to the product. And some people still end up buying, no matter the condition. But initially, they don't feel like buying. Let me give an instance now. Do you know that somebody can just say, okay, promo price going. This product is worth 2 million naira, but the promo now is 1.5. Now you are seeing 1.5. Wow! And you rush to it. And then when you check the terms and condition, you are seeing you must pay extra 300,000 naira in the next 1 month. Or they tell you you must pay extra 400,000 naira. They don't give you the reason for security, blah, 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 whatever. No, I'm just giving you a very good principle now. Remember, the actual price was 2 million naira, and the company must have checked both the security stuff, every other thing, and say it's 2 million naira. And they discover that you're thinking it's too expensive or you cannot afford it. Do not say, okay, promo price 1.5. So when you now enter the terms and condition, do not tell you to pay like extra 300 again to meet up to those stuffs that would have been the actual price. Some people will end up buying because they don't understand the principle that happened there. What really happened was just soundbite, exchanging some stuff, tweaking it, but I still giving you the same thing. But you might thinking, I'm the one benefiting, but it's not true. Soundbites. So you can use these stuffs in your own principle, in your own principles. Soundbites. Soundbites. Let's move forward. I'm just interested because people that were not around last 2 weeks. That's the last one we talked about that day was soft selling, and that was a farmer selling techniques. And we said a farmer does not really think about the product when he's farming. Does not really, he's not really too eager to see it. Let's say you're planting a yam now, you want to harvest it tomorrow. No. A farmer invests. A farmer invests for the future. You can get your product in the next 7 months, in the next 8 months. But one thing that happens is that no matter the stress you pass through while doing that farming work, no matter the whole suffering, once the harvest comes, you forget them. So a farmer is someone that invests so much in people. Talk to people about investment. Talk to them about buying. Some of you can even host seminars for real estate in your community, in your estate. You just target empowerment summit. In your estate, that's what our office is doing in Enugu now. They're hosting an empowerment summit that people will come gather. They will show them many ways to make money from real estate. At the same time, many of them will still come back to invest in the company. So that's called farmers' principles. You are investing into somebody, you are investing into a particular company, you are doing something, you are just doing something. Something happened to me last week. 2020, I applied the farmers' principle to a particular hotel. I wanted to work for them. I went there, I gave them a proposal, what I want to do for them and all that. They're saying, no, we can't do this, we can't do this. Even it's expensive, we can't even accept it. We can't do it. As a matter of fact, I even had to do a free job for them that period because the manager then told me, okay, just do that, let's see your work, let's see how it goes, let's see what you can do. I did a free job, spent money, and they didn't pay me, and they used my job too. I still ignored them and said, well, that would be a loss for me. Now, but you know, last week they called me for that same job. I came that time. What really happened was the farmer's principle. I made an investment there. So later on in the future, a new management still called me to come and do the same job, and they are still paying me. So that's what these farmer principles can do. You can invest in people. You can, do a lot of things. You can even give people gifts. These are things that investments you are doing. They will pay back later in the future. They'll definitely pay back. So you can apply this principle. So let me put on my teaching suit now on the part 2 of this teaching. I'm just being cool, showing you the whole stuff of what happened last 2 weeks, just to remind you. So let's proceed. The next principle I have here is the hard selling Hunter's selling approach. How does a hunter handle his game? A hunter cannot go out there and is telling you about investment. Or a hunter will go out there and say, no, let me leave you to grow more. So I'll come and kill you tomorrow and carry you. You may not see it again. Who can explain how hunters go about their business? When they go out there with their gun or with their machete or whatever, they are going out there with the mindset of I'm coming back with the result. If your father or mother is a hunter, when they leave the house, you're not expecting them to come back empty-handed. Because they went for hunting business. It's called hunting, not even shop business, not even marketing. This one is hunting. This one is hunters. let me say this. I won't put it on the media. I say let me not mention the name of, but I saw one particular organization, and the name of that organization is Hunters something. And then my boss saw it and said, "What? How can these people be answering hunters? Does it mean you are hunting people when they come to your place? Does it mean if somebody calls me now, I'll tell the person, oh, I'm in hunters so place? Okay, so a hunter is out there for results. I've seen them there in the village. They will come back with antelope. They'll come up with some animals, rabbits. They are going out there and they just know that, man, I'm here for hunting. And remember, hunters don't make investments, they set traps. Hunters don't invest, they set traps. And they're expecting their prey to enter the trap so they can harvest it. In other words, as a realtor, set traps too. Sometimes your traps might be sound bites, promo price, or one kind, like I saw one that time I told you about square meter, 150K. I was like, wow, 150K for square meter. And I went to check. They were not telling me terms and conditions. I must buy up to 1,000 square meters. So calculate 150K times 1,000. That's the amount of money. So set traps. People just fall in and say, oh, what's going on? So hunters come back with results. This is the opposite of the farming principle, the opposite of the soft selling. This one is hard selling. There must be a sell. Igbo people can do that one. There must be, you came to this office today, you must buy. Like you can't go empty-handed, you must buy. Once a hunter leaves his house, he expects to go back with a game. He expects to make at least one kill before returning home. One kill. They believe so much in instant results, unlike farmers who plant and expect to see results later. Hunters expect to see results once they shoot. So most times you need to apply this principle also. I must make contact today. This person must buy. It's not as if you force them, but once you go with that mindset, it helps you not to be discouraged. You know, most times I've seen it even in my personal life. Most times you're going for marketing or going to promote a business, and because you met the first person, I tell you, no, I'm not, leave me alone, I'm not interested, I'm not interested. You now feel discouraged. You now feel like, let me just go to my house. At that point, you're applying soft selling. You may not even be able to make sell in 2 years. You're just feeling discouraged. When a hunter misses a particular kill, let's say he wanted to shoot an antelope and the other one ran away, he's motivated that, that means this one I saw, there must be more. Yes, I missed this one, but more is coming. That means there is more in the environment if I saw this one. He missed that one, remember, but he's still motivated and said, since I saw this one, there must be other ones in the same, so let me just proceed. So hunters are motivated to make a kill, to catch something. So if you're always kind of discouraged when somebody tells you, no, I'm not interested, I'm not buying, what about the next neighbor that can say yes? When people say no, it doesn't mean it's over. It means there's still something. There's still opportunities. So don't get discouraged easily. No. I've seen this happen a lot of times. Somebody will be like, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to buy. No. The next one will be like, wow, this is very good. I'm interested. Tell me more about it. But assuming you went home from your first or second experience, that's the end of the game for you. So hunters have this mindset of, I am coming back here with a result. I'm coming back home with a result. That is why you see lions, very aggressive animal. Very aggressive. It doesn't take no for an answer. most times the way when I watch these Najo wide documentaries, I'm always wondering, wow, you see a lion now. He's going to a deadly place that they can even kill him. He will still be going. You know why? His mindset is the hunting mindset. I must come back with the result. Mostly the lioness. They must come back. They'll be like, oh, like my children at home. There is no food. Most of us they have children. You can't tell them that story. Me, when I was small, I don't hear that story. You must give me food. That one is not my business. I don't know how the money is coming. I don't know how but you must give me food. So, as far as you're a parent, yeah, you have younger ones, you have children you're taking care of, you have family members, you're already a hunter. You're not coming back and say, there was no market today, there was no food. Like, they must eat, and they must eat for me, whether you borrow or you pay. So, you must have that mentality that because the lion is not going out there saying, there's no hunting. That's why a lion will pursue. They will chase whatever animal it is. They will chase you from here to Abakaliki. They will even be, most times they'll be timing you. They'll be following gradually because they're not going back with excuse. So don't just get discouraged when people tell you no. Have this hunter's mentality. Very, very powerful mentality if you want to succeed in business. Now, you see, now let's talk about what then is hard selling. We're talking about hard selling now. Hard selling is a direct path to sales that aggressively seeks to close deals as early as possible. That's hard selling. Have you not seen people do negotiation for 1 hour? The client wants to leave, the seller doesn't want to allow him to leave. He's still preaching, making sure the person buys at that particular amount. They are going to do that thing for over 1 hour. They are still there. That seller is like, man, I must close this deal. And most of them, when they know that it's still the same price you will get outside, they will tell you, sir, okay, they'll be like, okay, come, let's go. Let me show you that's still the same price. They'll carry you to another shop, the same price. You come say, so come and buy from me then. That's hard selling. You want to make sure you close that deal no matter what. So look at this. Hard selling is considered as hunting approach to sales because a salesperson aggressively seeks an immediate sale. Just seeks it. An immediate sale. Because this is what grows business. Because you can't tell me you have a rent to pay in the next 1 year in your business and you are still applying only farmers principles, only soft selling. You not make it. Because most times that particular single sale is what will help you to sustain you for the day. For food, for transport, for fuel. I've had my guys most times they'll come and say, sir, we took small money from that woman because we need to buy fuel. That's hard selling. Because they need to sustain the business. Look at this. In hard selling, price is immediately presented often with the same type of discount already applied. Okay, it says price is immediately presented often with same type of discount already applied. They'll tell you there's a discount going on. It's a promo price. Calls to action such as buy now, call now, or when do we deliver it are pushed forward and early and often. Have you not seen adverts on Facebook and they are showing you time frame like 24 hours to close? I'm telling you, buy now. I'm telling you, call now. That is hard. They want to make sure you don't leave that page without clicking buy now. They'll put a promo price and put a particular deadline. Ends in 2 hours' time. The time is ticking. Bam, bam, bam. They're trying to make sure they bring into the sale. Buy now. Very, very important. Hard selling. So this is what sustain business, like I said. Let's proceed. Look at this. Hard selling basically is what keeps the business running. If your business has to depend at soft selling techniques at all times, then breaking even might be quite difficult. So this is what keeps your business running. Hard selling. Money for fuel, money for transport, money for so many things. It's hard selling. There must be an immediate sale. Okay, we don't care what you're talking about. We don't care whether you don't have money. You must buy. You must buy. You must buy. That's hard selling. Applying now, look at this thing because let's not misinterpret this principle. They're not going to be fighting with the clients that they must buy from you. The main and actual mindset of this hard selling is don't get discouraged. When somebody says no, other person can say yes. And always have the result at the back of your mind that I am coming back here with a result. Let me give you an instance now. You go out there for marketing, let's say in a particular market, and then on some offices, and then the first 3 people tells you, oh no, I'm not interested. Naturally, you're feeling bad. You're feeling like, this is not even working. Remember, if you go home like that, you won't even come out tomorrow. Because there's no motivation to come out. There's no vibe. That is why, no matter the experience you faced, if 3 people tell you no, tell yourself, I must get 2 people that will tell me yes. You focus on, let me get that 2 people that will tell me, give me your number. Let me know more about this thing. That one will not give you a good motivation to go home and sleep. Hunter's principle. Everything I'm sharing here, these are the stuff I apply personally in my life, in my business. Personally, I apply it. I've gone to a particular company, I wanted to do something for. They were saying, they were still building this then. And I got there the first day, as I was going inside. The man said, who is that? Where are you going to? I said, oh, sorry, sir. I want to see the chairman. So do you know the chairman? I said, no. So why do you want to see him? Did you give an appointment? I said, no. So you can't see him. Okay, I can't see him like that. Okay, he closed the gate. I told him, I said, guy, do you know who I am? He said, no, I don't, you can't see chairman. I said, okay, no problem. He said, what do you want to do? I showed him. He said, okay, no problem. He said, chairman is not even around. He's not even ready. He cannot even see like this. He cannot even see until you have an appointment. Blah, 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 blah. I told him, okay, no problem. Look at what you do. I'll come back again. But give me your number. I will call you. So you tell me when chairman is around. I took his number. I don't know if the guy gave me this number. Number was not going through. Every day is not reachable. Every day is not going through. Every single day. But because I told myself that I can't be seeing this company in front of my office and then I will lose the money I will make from them. So I applied the hunter's principle. I came there the next day. So I got half an hour. Your number is not going. He said that will be network. No people are just misbehaving. That will be network. I told him, I can want to see him. I say he's not around. Come back later in the evening. I left. I called him again. Number was not going through. I came another day. Hunter's principle. Somebody else will say, leave it. Let's just go. And remember, all these things might look stressful. It might look annoying. But when the result comes, you'll forget about the stress. That's why you must apply it. So I came back again. That morning I came. So no, I came to when I came that morning. But then Mogafa, you don't remember me. I said, no, I don't remember you. He was not telling me, I've told your guy is not around. Maybe you are the one that bought envelope for me. I got angry. I said, wait, do you think I'm looking for a job? I said, do you know who I am? I think I'm looking for a job. You know I came here. I said, I want to see your guy telling me nonsense proposal or whatever, or application. I said, I'm not here for a job. So look at why I came here again. I said, okay, it's you. Okay, no, sorry, I come. You open it when I come and see your guy. And I went there, I saw the Oga. The guy said, who sent you? Who are you? I told him who I am. And after everything, he said, okay, show me what you want to show me. I showed him. So I can take my number. He gave me his direct number. So don't worry, when we're ready, we'll not talk more and do the business. That was because of the mentality of a hunter. I go to email me. So when I see opportunities, I don't miss it. Because most times, people's motivation is hunger. Hunger can make you a hunter. When there's food, you can relax at home. Nothing is happening. That's why, you see, I tell my friends this, and most I look as if I'm one kind hard man or one kind, wicked man. I tell my friends, I said, hey, by the time I get married, the rich woman I want to get married to, and I give birth to children, I think my people say, no matter how wealthy I am, no matter how wealthy I am, my children will not have everything from me. The only thing I will do for them is to give them the foundation so they can climb by me easily. Because me, nobody even gave me any foundation. The foundation they just gave me was bed. They gave birth to me. And I'm grateful. So what I have was the bed they gave to me and the love that was there. And education, you know how I paid my school fees? And the love that was there. My dad is the best dad in the whole world. I love him so much because he has love for me. But there was not too much money. So the whole thing, I don't know if I would say, it made all of us to wake up early and say I was doing for ourselves. Now we're even the one giving them. Look at what I'm saying. Because most people, most children, because they have everything at the platter of good, they now become lazy. Because you know you will eat in the morning, no matter what. Like because you know you eat 3 square meal every day. So no matter what, you are feeling last, food will come. So many of them ends up becoming lazy. And that is why if you check, if you do your research, check so many wealthy men you know, check their children. They are still under the shadow of their father. If their father leaves the picture, they are gone. Many of them. But check their father, poor background. So most wealthy men you see today, most big men you are seeing that have big companies, came from very, very, very poor background. Their motivation was hunger. I saw a lady and she was asked, why are you always, why are you always hardworking? Why are you always successful? Why are you always doing everything? She said, poverty is my motivation. Poverty dealt with me. So I became motivated to break it. So I tell my people, I will not give them everything. If it's 1,000 you need as my son, I can give you 500. Get the remaining one by yourself. That will make you have this hunter's approach. This is why every lion gets a particular stage. They start teaching their children how to hunt. They'll go there, they'll hold the buffalo, and allow the children to come and bring it down. They are training them. Everything is not for a father to do for you. Because one day there will be no more. What will not happen to you? So these things is one of the principles to apply to keep business running. Have this hunter's approach. Don't give up easily. Now, why soft selling gears at long-term sales with high results or returns? Hard selling gears at immediate sales for every day running of the business. Most times, some deals you will make might give you money for even 6 months. Might give you 2 million naira, 5 million naira, 6 million naira. They'll keep it for 6 months. But because of not being sure of when the business will come, you can apply hard selling and just get 2 million to keep the business running. Because if you depend on the long-term sales, you might end up not meeting up to paying your house rent or your shop rent or buying fuel, all those things. So hard sell or hard selling is what keeps the business running. Hope you're following me. Hope you're following me. So the next one I have, I think it's second to the last. I don't have much time for this meeting. It's called upselling. Upselling. That's the next techniques to apply in business. Upselling is a sales strategy whereby a salesman or seller influences the customer or client to buy an upgrade of the same product or suggest another product which is supposedly better. Obviously, because it is more expensive than the one asked by the customer. That's upselling. Upselling. You are applying something, somebody wants to buy a particular product, and then you're giving the person an advice to invest in a bigger one for a better benefit and a better return. That's upselling. Let me show you another instance. Look at this example. Now, upselling might be along the line of the customer's initial preference or something slightly different. Okay? Let me give an instance now. You can't be applying upselling. I came to buy a car. You're telling me back again. I came to buy a car. You're telling me to buy a key. That's stupid advice. I'll even kick you. Now, but upselling can be, I came to buy a Ford car. And you're telling me about a Toyota. You're telling me the reasons why I should buy Toyota. Now, for instance, or let's say I came to buy a Ford car. And you're telling me about a Benz. Now, for instance, that Benz may be more expensive than the Ford I came to buy. But telling me the reason why I should buy Benz. You're telling me, so if you buy this particular car now, you have less consumption of fuel. You have more beautiful car. Is more fast. It's faster than this one. I just give you. I can. When I see the reason, I can invest more money in that Benz than the one I came for. That's upselling. It applies in real estate too. Let me show you. Now, look at this. For instance, you choose to buy a property of 500 at a location A from a realtor, And in a bid to make more profit, the realtor proposes a property allocation B for 1,000. Many people have used this principle and it works for them. Let me give you an instance now. Let's say we have a product in Enugu Phase 2, and it's cheap, even on promo price now. The client wants to buy for 2 million naira, the promo price. And they're telling the man, sir, assuming you came earlier, you'd have even bought from Phase 1 when it's cheap. They might be asking you, okay, how much is it now? Telling me, okay, Phase 1 is 10 million naira now. When they check what is going on there, the worth of it, the development, the person might be like, don't worry, let me buy Phase 1. So also apply this principle most times in your business. Somebody can choose to step up from the initial one you're showing them. That's called upscaling. You're showing them a higher version of the same product or something slightly different. Though the money is still high, most of them will still invest in that one. I've seen it most times in my life. I've seen it most times, many times. It's upscaling. So it's a very powerful principle you can apply mostly in this industry. Mostly. So let's say, for instance, now you want to sell a particular market, a particular land, and the client is asking you, this place is a little bit deep. When will it develop? When are people going to fence it? You're like, sir, it's even on a promo price now because you have not fenced it. The moment you fence it, the price will increase. But if you want somewhere that is more developed, I would advise you go for this one. This one is 4 million naira. Now you are upselling. They can still choose to proceed with that one. You are still making more money. So don't just stick to one particular principle. Just know which is the right one to do it now. Which one do I apply here? It's called upselling. Most of these things look like something that is one kind big theory. You can't practice it or what. These are everyday life experience we're having. Go to Ladepo now, go to Toyota, go to Aswani. It's going on every day. Igbo people, Yoruba people, Hausa people, they are doing it every day. That is why most of us go to market with a particular budget, when with a particular product on our mind. Then when we get there, we're not buying again. Why? Because there was an upselling, and then you don't have the amount to meet up with that one. Most of us will even make commitment and say, don't worry, hold the money for me. I'll come back for that upper one. It happens. Now, sometimes you're going to buy let's say, air condition. And you go there telling you, look at this one, is 1 horsepower you want to buy. Maybe your budget was 200K. And you go there, the one is telling you, what are you putting it in my panel, in my sitting room? They're like, you would have gone for 1.5 horsepower, 1.5 horsepower. That one is just 300K. And you still have less, they'll be telling you the whole benefits. You'll be like, it's true. Hold the money for me, I'll come back for the one. Or you can even pay at once. That's upselling. Now remember, the seller there might be making 1% profit from the lesser product. But when you buy the higher one, it's making 1.5 profit. So he's also making more money by upselling to you. Very, very powerful principle you can use in your business. And then, look at this one. It's called pre-selling. Pre-selling is what we are doing here with our bungalows. We're doing pre-selling. People are making orders for this. Once you make your order and give us initial deposit, we'll start a building. Pre-selling. Most companies start pre-selling even without launching the estates. But one thing about pre-selling, most times they come with cheaper rates, and sometimes it's about a product that is very, very valuable. And sometimes it's rare in the market. It's not everywhere. So people take, the name for pre-selling is called pre-order. They pre-order for it. So most times people order for a product. You see, there's so many people out there on our status, they're using this principle. They don't have any shop. Many of my girlfriends on my contact list now, they don't have any shop anywhere. They're selling clothes, they're selling bag, they're selling shoe, they're selling everything in this life. They don't have any warehouse or shop. They are doing pre-selling. Once you make an order and say, okay, I want this one, you pay money, you go and buy it for you straight. Take their own profit, give you your product. That's pre-selling. So that's it. Many people have excuse to make in life. Oh, I don't have money for shop rent. Oh, I don't have this one. Oh, I don't. Look for a way to still do that same thing. There must be a way. There must be a way. Some of us, our office is online, on WhatsApp, on Facebook. There must be a way. Somebody from here can also get money for shop rent. So there must be a way to make this thing. So pre-selling, for instance, now it's an act of selling a product before it's officially launched. It's very common term in real estate industry where properties are sold before they actually are built. It happens. People buy the whole estate. I traveled to last week. I was not here. I was in Uyo and Calabar. I traveled to Uyo. Then, I traveled to Calabar. Then from Calabar, I went to Uyo. So I was on my way coming back to Lagos. I was going towards the airport in Uyo. Then I was observing the whole road to that airport. Wonderful road, beautiful road. So I was not observing the environment. I was seeing normal bush, normal small bush. Then I began to ask myself, wow, what was going on here? Does it mean there's no estate here? Because it's a good location. The airport is just close, and the road is very, very good. And that same road will take you to the main town. It's not even far from the town. Like the road is just perfect. Just let's say 2 minutes drive or 3 minutes drive to the main town. So I'm like, why are people not coming here to build? Is it a restricted area? So as I began to think about these stuff, I was even saying, I think I'll come to this. Let's go and open a estate there and start selling because it's a good location. Then it dawned on me. I had the voice that said maybe this place already sold out from pre-selling. So maybe what I'm saying now is just the bush. I'm not saying the money that was people have already bought the whole place, waiting for maybe time to come and start developing. That's why I saw there. So that's why I remember this principle: pre-selling. Possibly when they bought the place was still a massive bush. Maybe the road was not even good. Maybe there was not even airport then that was beautiful. People have already bought it. But now I'm just seeing the results of the whole environment. I'm trying to buy. So most times, pre-selling is what makes people make more sense. And sometimes in a cheaper rate. So this is another principle you can apply. And then pre-selling is the layman language, can be linked with the word pre-order. Like I said, just about pre-order, ordering for something. Selling goods before they are available. Many people even do this online. There's what called drop shipping online. People just drop ship a product. There's so many ways to make business, man. Many ways. Many people do the work called drop shipping, whereby they don't have a shop, they don't have a store. What they do when a client makes an order, they send the address to the company and everything. Let's say the client is making an order and the particular product is $20. They'll pay like $10 to the company and send the address and everything to the company. The company will ship the product to the client, and that's all. So these are some of the principles people use to make money online. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope I did not waste your time. That's the end of my class. So, do we have any questions or any contribution to make? Upselling, okay? Upselling, that's upselling. So all these principles we have mentioned, that's from last 2 weeks to now, that's 9 principles we have mentioned so far. These things can change a whole lot in your life. Now, when you don't know them, you may be applying them, just like that. You don't even know about it. Maybe by mistake, you're applying them. But when you know them, it gives you more edge over your clients to close this perfectly. That's why you see many people study psychology, physiology, and other stuff, study people and know what to do. It makes you to just understand the next key to apply to close this deal. It makes you just understand the next thing to do. Okay, should I give a discount now? Should I apply loss leader? Should I apply cross-selling? Just makes you to know what's the next thing I should do. That's why most people, you come to their office, you already have the products they are selling. Let's say for instance, now somebody already came, they bought bread, like I was saying last 2 weeks, for a particular shop, and they enter your office with the bread. Maybe they came to ask you for sugar. And then you saw the bread and said, wow, you bought the bread. You say, yes. How much did you buy the bread? I bought it from the social shop. So, well, that was nice. The bread is beautiful. But do you have butter? I have butter. That's cross-selling. They didn't come for butter initially. They just came for sugar. But because you saw bread in their bag, and you're like, have you bought butter? I have butter. They can still buy butter from you. So, but if you don't know all these things, you just keep quiet. Oh, no, we don't have sugar. Bye-bye. you have missed out in the whole deal. That little money you must have made from butter, you're not making anyone. So knowing all these things, cross-selling, pre-selling, upselling, hard sell, soft sell, they will help you in knowing how to follow people up. Okay, hard sell. Let me show you hard sell. This is a very powerful principle. It's called Hunter's principle. It's haunting.
I'll say something about it.
Hmm.
Hard as it is, I think I have a problem with that sale.
Yeah.
You know, because a hard seller or a counter seller,
Hmm.
leave the house with the intention of selling.
Exactly.
That's to sell. So most of the time, he engages on some ethical practices because that's to sell.
Yes.
You know, if you say, okay, the man has about, even if it is not too dry,
It's dry.
he will tell his clear.
That is dry.
It's a wonderful piece of land.
Hmm.
You know, and he will engage it in some short course what he wants to sell.
Now, at that point, you got to understand that that person is applying scammers principle, not hunters principle. Yes, but from my point of view, like I talked about hunters principle, it's still hustling, no? Because scammers, have you seen scammers before? They are very, very hard. They want you to make that money, to pay that money. They tell you, they'll put pressure on you. They say, okay, you're missing the deal, send the money now, so I will close it. Hey, that, okay, sir, sorry, sir, continue.
Because he wants to sell,
Yes,
he doesn't really invest.
okay.
He makes his profits, he moves ahead. You see now? And then he doesn't have referrals.
Yes.
Refers him.
Yes, the one was, it was not good, yes.
Now, if you want to compare him with the farmer seller, it might take some time, but he's investing. Because if you want to make a career, not like want to make a career in real estate,
Yes.
I think if you engage so much in hard selling, at the end of the day, you will discover that you are getting out of the market.
Okay.
With the farmer selling, you must be patient, but that's what it requires.
Sure.
In the end, the sales will still come.
Exactly.
That is what I'm
Very true.
I
Very
have a
true.
problem with that.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, you know, I made a statement here about knowing what works for you. Exactly. I want to apply it. Now, remember what I said? I was comparing hard selling to the farmer selling, the soft selling. And I said that if you are doing a business, to keep the business running, sometimes you need to apply the hard selling to get money for free. To get money for most times, it happens in this company. Most times, when you see that, okay, people have not really bought land for some time now, the company will go back to hard selling. Let me tell you what they do by hard selling. Every of our clients that have bought will start sending them messages for their development levy, allocation levy, all those other fees, reminding them about it. Because when they bring in that money, it helps the company to run. Because the money for land is for the land, remember. These other money are things to keep and manage the land to make company keep running. So most times, applying this principle is what will make and keep your. Now look at what I'm saying here. Look at what I'm saying. You need the two of them before you can succeed in this business, whatever business you're doing. Now, like I said, I use the word hunters selling approach. I don't use the word scammers selling approach. Now, this thing means, let me give an instance now. A hunter does not apply a shortcut to get his prey or to get animals. They go the normal way with their gun or their machetes, set their traps, do something they do just to make sure they capture something. What I'm saying is that I'm talking about you doing the right thing, but yet with a motivated mindset to get results. It must not be you being desperate to do something bad, because that one will still fall back to you and affect your business. So that's what I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about more of being motivated, going out there to just kill the animal, capture the animal. So it shouldn't mean you should go out there and start doing other stuff that is not proper for your profession. That's what I'm saying. Now I gave a principle of the story I shared about how I got to enter that company, because I was going with a hunter's approach that I must get this job. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't fight anybody. But I was just so persistent about it. I was going for it. It's called perseverance. You're going for it. So that's what I mean by having the on tap. Because this approach, if you don't have it, you can't survive in this industry. You can't. Because the moment somebody tells you no, no, no 3 times, you're like, I'm not a realtor again. I've entered crayfish business. I'm not doing realtor. I'm not selling the property again because you're receiving no, no. You're like, what will I make this sell? What will I sell at all? No. So because hunters are like, nevertheless, we will succeed in this business. No matter what happens, we will succeed. That's the mindset. That's the mindset. Doesn't mean you should go and apply any other principle. So that is it. Any other question? Another question. So learn to apply these things. Now, it doesn't mean you should pick hard selling and leave soft selling. There are people you can follow with soft selling, making investments in them, helping them to grow, helping them to give them guidance on how to make sales and how to invest. These are the stuffs that will go on. So that is it. That is it. Mr. Bright, do you have the video of the empowerments tomorrow or the flyer? Please. So the Enugu head office, is hosting a powerful business empowerment tomorrow, Saturday, in Enugu. So if you have anybody in Enugu, you might want to recruit as your downline or show them the opportunity in real estate. Invite them for the program. It's a free event in Enugu tomorrow. You have anybody within Enugu, Abia State, Imo State that is close to Enugu? It's a very powerful summit they're having tomorrow over there. It's all about business opportunities, showing them how to make money in real estate and other things. So invite someone if you can. You can share it on your WhatsApp. Some people can also see it. And then that is it. Last week, Friday, we gave a bag of rice to one of our realtors that sold. Some of us are here. So it's also a platform to encourage you. I keep telling people that CPLAT is like a dealer of bags of rice. So you can even open a rice business with us. Just 7 plot of land, we'll give you 1 bag. You sell 20, we'll give you 20 bags. So you can open a business of bag of rice with us. We'll just be your supplier, and that's it. So that's what we do here often and every time. So be encouraged. Don't give up. I tell people that give up actually lose. So what did you not profit again? Let me give you an instance. You are in this industry, and let's say, I don't know how life might have it or how things are going. You might be making sales within 5 years. And then your first year, second year, third year, you are discouraged. You're like, I've not made any sales yet. And then you give up. Remember, it was just remaining 2 years for it to break out. And most times, this breaking out, once you break that particular barrier, it now continues from there. Start scaling high. So that's why, as far as you have a way of sustaining yourself, that's why I tell people, if you're doing consultancy in real estate, I tell people, see how other business you're doing as a multiple source of income to sustain you. As far as you're not dying of hunger, as far as you can still survive, still stay here. Because sometimes here it takes time. Real estate is like farmer's principle naturally. It takes time. But when the harvest now start coming, you'll be like, ooh, it will be like you don't enter Ogwego, you don't enter blood money. They forget the years of suffering, the years of marketing, the years of everything. You forgot it. So don't just give up. I don't know how many of us that were here. I think it was last 3 weeks when Mr. Dixon was sharing his experience before I started. You be like, how come? Such a story. That's how life is. That's how life is. It was a normal route before. Marketing, no sales. But look at him, he's the CEO of the company. This is how life is. It's step by step. So this is it. Play it. This is empowerment summit tomorrow. Let's go. So tomorrow. Meanwhile, happy new month, everybody.
Independence layout in the states. For state reservation, call 070-836-00327. The Executive Business Summit is powered by Siva Performance, the owners of Boston Garden Estates.
So that's it. You can invite people for it, people that are in Enugu, and they will get to attend and know more about business opportunities. If you want to recruit them as your downline, just send the company a message. They'll register them as your downline and all that. So thank you so much for your time once again. And then do keep in touch with us. Thank you.